Welcome back to the channel, guys. It is Mike, and this is the Variety Show. And today we got something a little different for you today. We are going to be doing a movie commentary. I'm joined with my dad and my uncle Trey. What's up?
What up, everybody?
What up, though?
And we are going to be watching Django Unchained. The movie is currently on Netflix. So when y'all do receive this movie, you can watch. This is a great video to watch along with Django because we're going to give our inputs and just how we feel about the movie as we watching it together. So it's very interactive with us. So yeah. So Django, I believe this movie came out 20, I want to say 2012. Do y'all remember? I want
Mm,
to say 2012.
Yeah, it was
Yep,
2012.
2012.
2012.
2012. Yep, this movie came out 2012 and starring made by Quentin Tarantino, directed by Quentin Tarantino, starred Jamie Foxx, Samuel Jackson, Leonardo DiCaprio, and who was the other dude? Kerry Washington in it, and what's the other dude that played Dr. King Swartz? I forgot that actor name. Do anybody know?
Nah, I forgot his name. He also played in. You talking about the? He also played in the Glorious Bastards. I forgot his name.
Okay. Well, we about to start the movie, guys. So get y'all snacks and everything. We about to start the movie. All right. We about to play at the exact same time. So at when I say go, we're gonna play at the same time. All right.
All
You
right.
heard me?
yeah.
Three, three, two, one, go. So this is a Weinstein movie, and we all know about Harvey Weinstein. So
He did.
yeah,
He did a few of Tarantino's movies, though. I noticed.
pretty much most of them. And one thing I like about this was actually the original Sony. They kind of made it real western. I love the vibe that the movie brings to. Christopher Waltz. That's his name. That's his name.
Yeah, that's it. He's really German in real life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I looked him up. I remember researching him after this movie.
Okay.
He's actually, been in some German films. So I don't know how him and Tarantino hooked up though.
Okay. And this movie takes place a couple of years before the Civil War. So Trey, since you are like the historian between all three of us, what was going on during these times before the Civil War?
These last few years before the Civil War, you might as well say it was hell on earth. So what was going on is they're in Texas. It's 1858. They're getting fearful as a nation because they're hearing about Abraham Lincoln gaining power. Not as president yet, but just a potential presidential candidate. And they knew his feelings as far as abolishing slavery. Then also at this time, you got tensions with slave catchers, and also you had what was called the Kansas-Nebraska Act, where things were turning bloody with deciding what states would be free or what states would be slaves. So it was real tense at this time, all throughout the U.S. and especially in the South. So it was real tense. You ain't know what was going on, and if you're a slave owner, you ain't really trying to lose no slaves because you know you're gonna lose some money. So that's kind of the backdrop. And the Civil War actually started in April of 1861. So you had about really 2.5 years before the war would start.
Okay. So, when y'all first seen this movie, what were your impressions of this movie? Did y'all like it the first time, or did y'all have to rewatch it in order to like it? Because I liked this movie the very first time I seen it.
Nah, I've been a Tarantino fan since Pulp Fiction, so I haven't loved every movie, but this is definitely one that I like. And as I did the research, coming to find out that This is actually not a spin, but it was what's the word I'm looking for? Inspired by the spaghetti westerns that Tarantino grew up watching. I gained even
Uh-huh.
more respect for the movie.
Yeah, I was anticipating this movie when it came out, so I was kind of excited to go check it out. And I actually went and saw this at the movie theater for real.
Okay. So yeah, we had 334, 337. So this was 1858, 2 years before the Civil War, and Trey already talked about what happened somewhere in Texas. Now, Jamie Foxx was not the original guy to play Django. The original guy was
Will Smith
Will
supposed
Smith.
to play,
Yep, Will
and he
Smith.
declined it, talking about the gore and yeah. Imagine what this would have been with him.
I don't know if it would have been better. I really I don't know if it would have been better.
Yeah, I mean, Will a good actor, but I think Jamie really did his thing on this.
Yeah.
I
Honestly thought he
agree.
was scary though.
I think you remember during this time. I know you might have been a tad bit younger, Mikey, but you remember he had a zone. It was a few years before this where he was just doing great work. You remember when Ray came out, Jamie
Yep.
was really starting to show that he could act. That was a little bit, I think, about an 8 year gap, but he definitely came back into his own with this Django performance.
So here go the introduction of Dr. King short. And I heard it was controversial behind him being Dr. King. I read somewhere that a lot of people didn't like that they named his character Dr. King. What y'all think about that?
I can see that.
Who you talking about? The
Uh,
white guy?
yeah.
His name was Dr. Schultz.
Yeah, but it was Dr. King shorts.
Oh, but he's
I,
supposed to be German.
Yeah, I know.
Uh,
And they didn't like
but
the fact they
but
didn't like the fact that
let
he
me
was
give
called.
a little spin off of that. In reality, Martin Luther King's name was not Martin Luther King at first. On a
What's his name?
trip on a trip to Germany, his name was changed to Martin Luther because Martin Luther was the name of the person that led the Protestant reform. He created something called the 95 Theses, posted it on the Catholic Church door, talking about we have to change some things about the church. So that's kind of maybe a Tarantino spin on it to name him Dr. King Schultz because Dr. King actually was named after a German.
Okay.
did any of y'all
We're
watch? Did y'all watch this at the movie theater or?
Oh, I didn't watch it at the movie theater. I actually seen it when it first got on DVD.
Mm.
I'm with you, Devon. I went to the movies with your sister. We saw it. I forgot the name of the movie theater on A Bomb on the east side. But yeah, I went to the movie theater to watch this. Like you said, I was waiting on this. I anticipated this movie.
Yeah, this joint. I was surprised how many. What was the ratio of blacks and white Americans that was watching this movie?
I wish I could say the same. It was pretty much 99% us where I was at.
Did you simply get carried away with your dramatic gesture, or are
Yeah,
you
this part right
aiming
here.
at me with lethal intention?
Yeah,
But notice how he spoke about that. Are you aiming it at me with lethal intention?
yeah. Like this was a very, very bloody movie too. Well, what do you expect from a Quentin Tarantino flick?
And also, you can't forget for Tarantino, he was highly influenced by those spaghetti westerns. And for that
Yep.
time, they were kind of quote unquote gory, not even in the league with what we look at now. But for that time, there was a lot of killing, a lot of gore, and he's even said that kind of inspired him.
So this was actually a remake. I forgot when the original Django came out. Do you remember anybody?
He actually had a series of them. Django
Okay.
Don't Shoot. Django, I can't think of the name of the other one. But the original Django was in this movie. The original Django has a cameo in this movie. His name
for
through the credits as well.
Okay.
Once we get to it, I'll point out what the original Django was.
Sold American. So, Mr. Speck, how much for young Django here?
Also, I like the acting in this scene because they were very, very, very confused.
Very what?
They were very, very confused.
Well, you got to look at it. I've walked from a slave auction I'm en route to a new plantation. All of a sudden, the two slave owners are killed, and now one of them is bought. One of the people is bought, and now I'm free to go wherever I'm supposed to go or wherever I want to go. I'd be shocked too. They've been slaves their whole life.
Look at him running. He was kind of nervous, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
For young Django here, and since he will be needing it,
I like how he flicked the money on him.
Right.
I'm afraid I'll require a bill of sale.
And the coins.
Yep.
Go to hell. No worries. Go to hell.
Hey, that part that we just watched also tripped me out. You got your leg crushed by a horse, yet you still gonna tell Django not to go do something. You're in
Right.
no position to defend yourself. You still calling this man a racial epithet and serious.
Man, they had a lot. I mean, I don't know the ego of them.
Next.
I mean, did it? I can't remember. Did it say why he chose Django to go with him?
Yes, Django was a slave at a plantation with some fugitives he was looking for. So basically, Django was gonna be his eyes. He didn't know what the guys looked like. Django, you was at this plantation. You know what they look like. They've escaped. Let's go find them. That's why he bought Django.
Gotcha. Like, I'm sure these dudes was probably like hating. Hey, man, why you taking him?
Yeah.
Like, is this? I like look at the facial expression. Like, man, this right here.
I like the fact that he tried to negotiate with him.
That's because he knew what time it was.
Right.
He knew what. And because here's the thing, I wonder what part of Texas they were supposed to be in. Because the blacks in Texas that escaped, either you go to Mexico or you may go out west. If they made it to Oklahoma, they would have been straight. Well, no, I'm in New Mexico.
And I like how they just had all his brains just fly all out of that joint.
Yeah. One thing I do credit this movie for, I think it had a really, really good score, soundtrack to it. Um, I definitely love the soundtrack to this movie with the Western feel and
And
everything
then
about it.
there was a guy named Sergio Merconi.
Uh huh.
He did all of the most of the spaghetti westerns, and the same director and it's the same guy doing the scores. You can just see the influence on Tarantino with this. You can look him up, but he was the guy that did like all of the scores.
Okay.
It's kind of like what's my man's name? I can see him now. He was an Italian guy. He did all of those movie scores in the 50s and the 60s. I can't remember his name right now. He did the Pink Panther. He did all of those scores.
And look how they looking at Django on the horse though.
Yeah.
You
On
didn't
that
see that
nag.
back then.
Man, I can't wait. I can't wait
Who
till we
is
get there.
that on that nag?
On that
I can't wait till we get to that to that part. Samuel stole the show. And we got a lot to talk about his character when we get there.
But you even got a lot to talk about now. When think about this, it's 1858, and it's showing you what happened with decades and over a century of slavery. Because
Yep.
at this point, look at their just look at their attitude towards blacks.
Yeah. Bad guys. I'm just gonna give me some.
Check him out. Like, hold on.
Yeah.
Hey, he turned around like he saw a ghost for real, for real.
For real.
No, we must act as our own guardian.
I think these two, Jamie Foxx and Django and Doctor Short's character, they had a lot. They have great chemistry. Like the acting with these two were very, very good.
Yes.
Especially when Jamie Foxx was starting to feel himself like, shit, man,
Yeah.
can't tell me nothing, huh?
This guy right here can act though.
Yeah.
I've never seen nobody do that with a beer before.
You talking about that
Take the little suds off.
for our generation, you just take that mug and turn it to the side, put a 45-degree angle on it. That's all we do.
Yeah.
That way we keep as much of that frost off of it as possible.
Mm-hmm.
What
Could
is
you
this?
imagine your hair like that back in the day, though?
Hey, to be honest with you, man, I think he's the reason that half the brothers after this started wearing their hair like that.
Shoot, my hair like that now.
That's because of the pandemic, though, brother.
Uh,
That's not because of your choice.
It's like a reward.
uh,
It's like a reward.
Django is struggling trying to understand the concept of a bounty hunter.
Right.
Brings me between you.
yeah.
Comes to you. It brings me between you. On one hand,
One
I
thing that makes
Like,
their
look.
dynamic, huh?
Plus, he's still in shot. Like, nigga, I'm free.
Yeah. Well, at this
Or,
point, he's supposed to be a slave for King Schultz. But as you just said, Devon, he's being treated as if he a free man equal to King Schultz. So he has to be totally blown away.
right. And then also, I can imagine, especially the way we think now, like, what is his agenda? Like,
Yeah.
that would be my move. Like, man, what is his plot? Like, he got me, like, but what is he really trying to do?
And think about it. And what you bring up a good point, because think about what happens later on in the movie where he starts revealing his character more and more, you can see how this would be very, very, very intense for him and shocking for him because where's the trust of him? Look what has already happened to me. How am I supposed to trust you? I just
Right.
met you. You done killed 2 white dudes, set some slaves free, and put me on a horse.
He probably thinking if this go wrong, they gonna kill you, but they gonna torture me, then kill me.
Yes.
And also, the like you could tell this was probably his first beer because the way he drunk it. Here go the I think the sheriff right now.
You 100% right.
Okay, boys. Runs over. Come on out. Okay, boys. Runs over.
You
All
know
right.
it's trouble when you hear one of them boys coming. How you doing?
Business.
Hey there, boy.
Locals will be gone soon. Now, why y'all want to come into my town and start trouble? All these nice people, you ain't got nothing better to do
Think about this.
than to come into Bill shops.
They scared because a black man was on a horse.
Yeah, I know.
Bill,
I read something they didn't let black man ride a horse because they didn't want a black man looking down at a white guy. Look how scared he was when he shot him, though. He was like, "This man crazy."
Nah,
Hey,
Jamie like, shoot, man,
hey,
I'm with
hey,
this dude. I'm the only black dude up in this joint. They about to come murder me for real.
hey, did you see the woman drop though? The woman that fell right behind
Mm-hmm.
after.
What the hell?
Hey, Jamie like shit. Hey, let's just go ahead and leave, man. We done
Yeah.
came and did what we need to do. Let's go. Hey, that if that's not us, I don't know what is.
Hey, that was us. He looking like, look, let me go ahead and get on up out of here.
Right. Police about to come. Let's bounce. Let's go.
Got one chance. Get out of this alive. You and your nigger come out right now with your hands over your head, and I mean right now.
Right now.
Marshal, I have the pleasure of addressing. Yes, it is. This is U.S. Marshal Gil Tatum. Wunderbar, Marshal.
Hey, but let's flip it though.
Weapons. And
All those actors, I'm sure they haven't been
I am
in
ready
this type of role before.
Yeah.
They use it so freely with the N word.
The casual
Like,
use of words.
I
like,
trust as a
what do
representative
you think, or how do you think
of
they felt
America
prior, before, prior, and then after the movie?
by
Though?
either you or
Which is
your
a very good
deputies
point.
before I've had my day in
Oh, I know that was another thing that people didn't like about the movie of how many times they actually think Quentin Tarantino is a racist. Many
But
times he used the N-word in
that
his movie.
had to be people that don't know Tarantino because that initially was the issue with Pulp Fiction, the way it was being used. But that's part of his. That's part of the way he does. He directs and makes his movies.
Yeah, reality.
He told Django, "Let me do the talking." Django like, I ain't saying nothing.
Right.
You do the talking. I ain't saying nothing.
You're like, you do the talking.
May I address you and your deputies and apparently the entire town of Daughtry as to the incident that just occurred? Go on. My name is Dr. King Schultz. Like yourself, Marshal, I'm a servant of the court. A man in the dirt. The good Daughtry saw fit to elect their sheriff, who went by the name of Bill Sharp, is actually a wanted outlaw by the name of Willard. Went by the name of Bill Sharp is actually a wanted outlaw by the name of Willard. I'm aware this is probably dead or alive. But over the way,
So
probably this time in the past
what?
2 years.
And then the way,
Also, I think like the way the movie was shot in a way, like the quick cuts and then the long cuts that they did with this movie. the editing choices. I think the movie was perfectly edited, in my opinion. I think the pacing of the movie was also great too. What about y'all?
When you got a movie for 2 hours and 45 minutes, you're gonna have to do something.
Yeah, you got to build that joint up. Build you up, take you down. You know what I'm saying? You got to stretch that joint through.
Mm-hmm.
You owe me $200.
Go ahead, run that 200.
Yeah, he's sitting there looking like,
Run that. I need that.
Jamie just looking at him.
Like, all right, we can put our hands down.
he's like, man, how you pull this off?
I like this song right here the day.
Yeah, this song really fits the movie for real. I would have to tell the old boy, like, dude, I need to get in this shower for real or something. Dude, we ain't ate nothing. Oh, see? Spoke it up, huh?
$1 in your back pocket. What's your plan after that? Found my wife. Not freedom.
So Trey, you have said that they're gonna do a sequel to Django.
They
Right?
want to. They want to do a sequel. Tarantino will not be directing it, but he'll be part of the production. And
Yeah.
Django is supposed to escape west after what he did at the end of this movie, and somehow make it to Mexico and hook up with Zorro.
Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work.
I got no use for a nigger with sand.
You wearing that Cannibal Lecter mask.
Yeah, but this is truthful right here. This is historical where they would burn that R on your face for runaway.
Rebuild auction
Okay.
and sell them. Both of them. This one separately. You will sell him.
Yeah, that's a scoutless move, though. Sell them separately. They can't even be
Yeah,
together.
but they normally did that anyway.
So how accurate do you think this movie was during this time?
This right here is still kind of a stretch to imagine that they would have let him with a black man kill another white man and kind of get away with it. He's not an American either. He's a German.
Yeah.
And you're talking about Texas, and even to this day, Texas don't feel like they in the U.S. They feel like they do whatever they want to.
Right.
As a matter of fact, historically, the last place to find out the Civil War was over, basically almost 3 months later, was Texas. That's why we got Juneteenth, the celebration, June 19th, 1865. In Galveston, Texas, they found out that slavery was over. Even though the South actually surrendered on April 9th, 1865. So look at that. That was over 2 months later.
They found that, and they go to beautiful Kerry Washington. I had a crush on her, saying, "Well, Kerry Washington always been beautiful to me." And that's when you found out that that was actually his wife, not in Tennessee, so another southern state.
Tennessee ain't just another southern state. That's ooh. Tennessee brings shivers to you. Can't forget that's the birthplace of the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah. I don't know what's word between them or Bama or Louisiana or Mississippi.
In my opinion, man, my dwelling place where I grew up, Georgia, Alabama, and Mississippi brings shivers to you. And I think the ghost of Mississippi may be the worst.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, it's just they brought the slaves that were brought into Mississippi, especially after the cotton gin was created. It was just brutal. It was very similar to what they were doing down in South America and Brazil and what was happening in Cuba as far as just trying to work you to your bones.
Mm.
And then the racial side of it was even worse.
Man, I never forget when I was living in North Carolina, man.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, them cats was talking about how they used to have to go down to Alabama or Mississippi, and they got to go through Alabama. And they said, "Boy, that's one rough state to cross, boy." They
Yes,
said,
sir.
"Boy, you better not be driving wild at dark. You better do all your driving during the day."
Right here, go. This one is starting to get funny right here.
Yeah,
Wearing the blue.
yeah. He done went to strictly sportswear.
Name is Django. He's a free man. He can ride anything. Not on my, not around my niggas. He can't. Perhaps we got off of the phone. Allow me
He
to.
said, "Not over here."
My name is Dr. King Schultz. My valet Django. These are our horses, Tony and Fritz. Mr. Bennett, I've been led to believe that you are a gentleman and a businessman. And it is for these attributes we've ridden from Texas to Tennessee to parlay with you now. I wish to purchase one of your nigger gals.
Huh?
You and your Jimmy rode from Texas to Tennessee to buy one of my nigger gals? No appointment, no nothing. Oh, I'm afraid so. Well, what if I say I don't like you? Oh, you fancy pants nigger. And I wouldn't
Why
sell
you
you.
look like Colonel
Y'all
Colonel
drove over
Rock?
here to buy one of these ladies over here.
Mr. Man, I've been led to believe it. 5,000 things I
Now,
might
that's
say.
a perfect example to show how money talks.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what he's trying to say. He did this again in the
Go
movie.
inside and get yourself something cool to drink.
No, come inside, get you something cool to drink. And
Came from
then the
business.
little conversation he had with the girl was funny. You want us to treat him like a white man? No, I don't want you to treat him like a white man.
What's that Peckerwood boy's name? Be down at the store.
Bettina. Yes, sir, Big Dad. What's with Jimmy?
But then look at what he got him calling him.
Bettina.
Yeah.
Could you take Django there and take him around the grounds here and show him all the things? Bettina, sugar. Could you take Django there and take him around the grounds here and show him all the pretty stuff?
Big Daddy. Huh.
Understood, Schultz. Bettina, sugar. Yes, sir. Django isn't a slave. Django is a free man. You understand? Django. You can't treat him like any of the other niggas around here because he ain't like any of the other niggas around here. You got it? Like white folks? No.
No.
That's not
Hey,
Yeah.
notice, hey, Dr. King show nodded.
no.
Big Daddy like no.
See that? What's the name of that Peckerwood boy from town that works in the class?
Man, that little pecker boy.
Name's Jerry. Got a boy named Jerry. You know Jerry, don't you? Yes, I'm Big Daddy. What do you mean, Jerry? Jack's the boy named Jerry. You know Jerry. Yes, I'm Big Daddy.
Look at the ego he must have has that he wanted all of them to call him Big Daddy.
Well, slavery is about two
Really,
things:
really the
profit,
insecurity.
power. So he making money off of them, grabbing that cotton, and he's selling it up north, but also the power aspect. Call me Big Daddy. Ain't no telling what else he been doing to him.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
Now, this part right here is the integration of the original Django. Because the original Django
Eyes are free.
was
Eyes are
pulling
free.
off not conning people, but tricking people. Just like what they doing.
Okay.
Sometimes called a rod. I don't know. Using a different name. They would have come to the plantation this past year. You mean the Shapers? Maybe. 3 brothers.
I'm gonna
Could you
keep going.
Well, one's over in that field.
He ain't waste no time.
Nah,
Waste no time getting to it.
nah. Like, look, man, we
Where they
ain't
at?
here for the bull.
Yeah. Where they at?
Look at him politicking, ain't he?
Yep.
Oh, when this movie first came out, a lot of people got Django confused with Nat Turner. I don't know how, but they got him confused with Nat Turner. I heard.
Mm. I mean, when you get to them scenes, man, you can really feel it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, look just how look how the color changed. It's not in black and white, but it's kind of dim. That's like to show that it's like a flashback. And I just love the way how it's shot, and you can actually feel the emotion with the music, the dialogue, and everything.
And you got to also look at it from this perspective. He does something in this movie you really don't see a lot, where he's showing the entire economic process of slavery. He
Yep.
shows you slave owners, but not just slave owners, slave drivers as well, and overseers. These guys were overseers. The key to remember with slavery is less than 10% of all whites in the South own slaves. So it would be the equivalent now of what? Millionaires? And we know we got even less billionaires. But these guys right here were employed through slavery and one day would hope to own slaves themselves. That's what
Right.
kept the whole process going.
So
So
it's
you
like a
don't really get
fictional.
this a lot where you get to see the entire economic process of what slavery was about in the South. We always think about who owned slaves, but you don't think about the fact that it was whites working for them to keep it going. Not just their
Right.
ancestors that picked the cotton, tobacco, or what was the other one? Rice or indigo. And my man got scriptures on him before he whoop a girl for breaking eggs.
Yeah, yeah.
That we can talk about that, the misinterpretation of the Bible for their own use.
Yep. And for that reason, that's why a lot of black men and women don't really believe in Christianity because of how the white man pretty much the white back in those times like kind of tricked used the Bible against us. And really that's not how the Bible was supposed to be.
Because the reality is, there wasn't Christianity. This was manipulation, not
Yep.
Christianity. Look at them. They looking like, he just shot a white man.
That was a little bitty gun right there.
Yeah. You take them out that quick.
It's crazy how like how this dude struggled to get the gun.
He's drunk.
Yeah.
That's the first
Oh,
time I noticed. That's the
that's
first time I
nothing but
noticed it
anger,
slid the
boy.
gun away from him.
That's nothing but anger right there.
Hey, but he did a good job of showing you the backdrop while he's whooping them like this. You
Right.
remember what they did? He said, "Y'all want to see something?"
Y'all want to see something?
He empty a cap. He empty the whole thing
Hey,
on.
What you say?
He empty everything on him.
He's the one hot telling him to cross that field. He's the one hot telling him to cross that field right there.
And this is a perfect shot right here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're positive?
mm-hmm.
Sure.
Said, I don't know what positive means.
Yes, I'm sure that's Elizabeth.
It's how you kind of look how the blood just
On that cotton.
yeah. And I'm pretty sure that was like symbolism for how much blood, sweat we did when our ancestors used to pick the cotton too.
Calm down. We mean no one on.
Pay attention. Very, but hey, here's symbolism for today, y'all. Pay attention to how. Look at this posse he got with him. Everybody he got ain't black. I mean, ain't white.
Right.
He got some slaves with him, trying to help him deal with these two.
Mm-hmm.
Symbolism for today. Because if I'm a slave, I could care less what go on. You got me oppressed, and I'm supposed to help you with this?
Right.
You just let the Brittle brothers whoop a girl, or was ready to whoop a girl for breaking eggs. But I'm supposed to have a gun and help you do something else.
Or alive. So when the on site, we're operating within our legal boundaries. I realize that are hard, but I must warn you, the penalty for taking deadly force against an officer of the court in the performance of his duty is
He threw that in there.
Right. Like, all right, you Texas now.
from my pocket, so you may examine it.
Look, them guns went down real quickly, didn't it?
Oh yeah.
Why he look like Colonel Sanders, man?
You know that's Don Johnson that used to play on Miami Vice.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, that's Don Johnson. Crockett and Tubbs. And don't forget Tennessee and Kentucky right next to each other, Mikey.
Right next door.
Wow. So it's all come together.
Yep.
I need that. He said I need that back.
Oh yeah.
Load up the bodies as quickly as you can.
I didn't notice this until the last time I watched it. I'm like, he got some slaves that was supposed to help. I'm like, man, come on.
They was deep too.
I like how he took the bag out and then put the dynamite in. He knew what time it was.
Here go probably one of the funny, well, not the funniest, but probably one of the funniest scenes in the movie.
Actually, it is funny because he's actually being sarcastic.
Yep.
Them sons of bitches.
Cats came deep, didn't they?
I know. Then the little opera.
Now, this part right here is classic Tarantino. If you know how he loves to tell stories that are not in succession.
Yep. Now this whole scene was just straight up comedy.
Oh yeah.
But we got more comedy coming up and the good parts coming up.
Unless they start shooting first, we're gonna whoop that nigga.
Call him a nigga mother.
Now, just a little bit of history for y'all. Most people will watch this part and think that who is this? They're all a part of what?
The Klan.
The Klan wasn't created for another 8 years. So just keep that in historical perspective.
Okay.
Ku Klux Klan wasn't created until 1866 in Tennessee, though.
Make your own goddamn map. Look, buddy saying they don't.
So that just means that they was practicing.
Yep. Or he may be saying this was kind of like the prelude.
I can cut it better than this. Listen how old dude snapped.
Pretty good, more or less. But when I start riding, the bag's moving all over. I'm not pretty good, more or less. But when I start riding, the bag.
Anybody got another bag? Like I said, it's fine.
Keep breathing if I'm taking a hero.
Man.
All day. Bitches. Don't ask me.
Hey, he put emphasis on that joint, didn't he?
While we're
Ungrateful sons of...
over that hill there. We gotta
He
make
was big mad.
I'm confused. Are the bags on or off?
I think we all think the bag was a nice idea. Yeah. But not pointing any fingers. They could have been done better. No, this time. Next time. Do the bags right. And go. Go again. Wait a minute. Hey. Wait a minute.
So it'd be nice to see.
God damn it.
Of course, 'cause-
Hey, them dudes so doggone confused. It don't even make sense.
Yeah, that's why I said he's trying to be cynical.
I like how he assumed that Django was sleeping under the wagon while Dr. Schultz was sleeping in the wagon.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, Django was like, damn, for real?
What's the name of that? Oh, that little yell. It's in every movie.
What?
The little I forgot the name of the yell, but you notice you hear like a yell in every movie. It's similar in every movie. I forgot it started with a W.
I mean, who would have thought to shoot somebody up in the tree, though?
Getting away. It's getting away.
When he slowed it down like that for the cinematic effect.
Yes, sir.
Mm.
The natural.
Man, could you imagine how much confidence Django had after that?
Oh yeah.
Named her, it stands to reason that he German.
I didn't got to kill white folks in front of my people. Didn't kill a slave owner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, his swag gotta be on 10 right now.
Oh yeah. He in a whole totally different area.
So at this point of the movie, we about to segue into like this is pretty much the first half is over. Now we about to head into the second half, which is essentially the main story. Like the rise in action and the climax is about to go down.
Yeah, that really was an extra long. That really was an extra long introduction.
Yeah, just character development and getting to know the characters, but now we about to get into
The plot.
Mississippi,
Yep.
Candyland, Mississippi.
It's a German legend.
I've never been to Mississippi. Have y'all?
Where all my family from? I ain't been there though. My dad was born in Mississippi.
He surrounds her.
I got all types of, especially my dad's side. I got a bunch of them from there.
I don't know, man. Mississippi. I had to go there with somebody, man. I couldn't just be venturous going there by myself, though.
It ain't that place to do. I mean, now you could go there to a degree, but for me, It's the equivalent of the day I go back to the motherland and I'm on one of the coasts, especially the slave coast where Gory Island is. I will just be able to feel the ancestors that was there and know what they went through.
Mm.
Mississippi is one of them places where, especially in my research, some of the most heinous things happened to the ancestors there. And their form of slavery was just, I mean, it was probably more brutal. And it was also common knowledge that if you were acting a fool in North Carolina, South Carolina, trying to get away, because they don't talk about this, but to give you some context, you had slaves that were smart and would do stuff like when they went to sleep, burn down a barn, kill horses, things like that, so that they really couldn't find out. But if they found out, they would sell you down to Mississippi because they know it would be a really hell on earth for you.
Yeah, them southern states is man.
And I honestly believe the 19th century slavery may have been worse than the 17th to 18th century slavery because Charles Darwin and his whole theory of evolution now gives to that part of the movie that we'll see with Calvin Candy, where they have a different thinking and think they have evidence to support superiority, when in fact there was none but falsehoods and a bunch of claims, or as we would say today, alternative facts.
Mm.
We know who talks like that.
Yeah, we gotta fit Donald Trump in here somewhere.
I mean, hey, he came up with that. That wasn't what I said. That's what he said. But Mississippi had that reputation. Think about Emmett Till.
Yep.
That's money, Mississippi. Freedom riders down there killed in Mississippi. I mean, I've read. There's a book called "100 Years of Lynching." That book could put you in tears. Mississippi was just known as that type of area.
I've never given anybody a freedom before. Now that I have, I feel vaguely responsible for you. Plus, what determined me to realize.
I think this was a very important scene too that we wasn't talking about at first. Like this is really showing like really them bonding
Yeah.
and really getting to know each other.
I think he felt like that when he seen Django shoot that gun though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, shoot, yeah, he that one.
I like that. Like we gonna get to the scene later, but I like Django actually does care about Dr. Shorts, but he can't show him because he still consider him the enemy because he's a white man. It kind of like it kind of comes off when with the body language.
That part was big too. He was like, "Why you care what happened to me?" He was like, "I kind of feel responsible for you." He's kind of saying, "I feel responsible for you on a human level, not like you property, but as a person." That
Right.
was big. He slid that in there. I'm talking about Tarantino did.
And he will make a cameo too. Tarantino. He always fit himself in his movies.
Him and Stan Lee. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Well, Stan Lee, of course, no more. Rest in peace to him. But
And really, but really Stan Lee. He always found himself in the movie, even when he's passed away. He went like pictures and just
yeah.
stuff like that. Now I wonder where they at right here, where it's snowing.
Well, they went up north. They went up north. So they actually were in Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota. They were in areas like that. Don't forget, a lot of outlaws would run to territories that really hadn't been settled because there was less people to track them down.
I wonder how cold he was in this water right there.
Huh.
Oh, it was freezing. That's just like that. There was a black woman that lived in Montana in the 1800s. She was a postal worker and she carried a rifle. She was respected. They ain't fool with her either. She was a former slave. And I know Django got to be like, man, are you this it? And look, man, they got moose. I mean, not moose, but bison over there.
Right.
So he definitely like in Idaho, Montana, something like that.
Especially in the mountains.
Yeah. That look like the Rockies.
Yeah. That's when he got a little conscious of the little boy.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of encouragement.
Yeah.
That's what I call that. A little bit of encouragement.
Yeah. King Schultz had to give him some perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know, but did they ever reference Abraham Lincoln in this movie?
Lincoln wasn't that big in the U.S. yet.
Okay.
He was rising through the ranks in Illinois, and he had a famous debate. What was his name? Was it Douglas? I think it's Stephen Douglas. They had a major debate around 1859 that kind of propelled him into the spotlight. Then he ran for president, and he became president.
Okay, so
And
if y'all seen my history of pro wrestling, right now Abraham Lincoln is knocking people out because he's considered to be the first ever American champion. Of wrestling. So
well, they said he was knocking people out.
oh yeah.
I said Abe wasn't no joke.
Mm.
Yeah. Remember he fought vampires.
Yeah. That's not all they say about Abe though. They have other things they say about Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, he actually owned slaves himself and a whole lot of other stuff.
Because one of his best friends was a major slave owner in Kentucky. Now I do say, Mikey, you love looking at these types of things.
Okay.
I'm scratching my head saying, what was the chance that he really knew how to read? No, I'm just being honest.
I haven't even thought about it like
I'm
that.
like, he reading? They not
Right.
after Nat Turner. After that happened with Nat Turner, where 60 white people got killed in Southampton County, Virginia, they outlawed it for slaves to be able to read.
Okay, so when was Nat Turner active? Because they did mention
Nat Turner was 27 years before this. That was 1831. And right before Nat Turner, but right before Nat Turner, there's another guy named David Walker who wrote a pamphlet out of North Carolina called The Appeal. He was the first one, in the Bible, it do say, vengeance is mine. The Bible doesn't just preach that we're supposed to be docile. That started circulating up and down the East Coast, and he came up missing. But they said Nat Turner got wind of David Walker's appeal. And that was kind of his motivation, partly.
This dude turned into a savage.
He'll be killed.
Yeah.
Hey.
Now y'all know what they use for blood, right?
Nah.
They use like chocolate syrup, but they use red food color to turn it red.
Oh.
That'd be a whole lot of food color.
Yeah.
To turn chocolate into red.
Yeah.
They ain't know that.
And that's a whole lot of food color.
I don't know if they use it in this movie, but I know they use
take white chocolate. Look, Django got his props now.
Yeah. They're taking whole gangs out.
What about the coat, though?
The what?
The man coat.
Yeah, he cold that.
Yeah. No, I Django. I was like, shit. Let me get one of them joints, man. I
Because I
need
wonder how
to
much.
too.
Hey, I wonder how much it cost back then. Because we know what it hit for now.
Right.
Check out how your man got a rabbit hanging out there. Is that a gopher? What he got dinner hanging.
Here we go. This is part two of the movie. Really, Mississippi. This is where the story really picks up. Now, Harriet Tubman was active during these.
Not down that way. You can't forget she was only going to Maryland. Just Texas.
Yeah.
Mississippi. Oh,
Yeah, I hear that, man. Every now and then they give me the little blues about Harriet Tubman over here.
Ain't no blues. She did what she was supposed to do.
Every now and then they remind me, but I always tell her where she wind up at.
Mm-hmm.
didn't she die in Canada?
Nah. Harriet Tubman died in the 1900s, man.
No, I'm talking about where.
In America.
Oh, I
All
thought.
the 90% of all the slaves that escaped to Canada came back to the United States after the Civil War was over.
Okay.
And the reason being, think about it. Hey, your family.
So I feel like she ain't good enough for the house no more.
Mm.
Yeah, they said Harriet Tubman was a savage. Like, wasn't she like four something feet?
Yeah, she's only like
Ah,
5 feet, 5, 4'10", 4'11". She wasn't that tall.
yeah, with a shotgun.
So
Now, this right here, like this strategizing on how
Right.
to get her back, that's the original Django inspiration as well. This is what the original Django was doing. Sitting
Oh,
down, strategizing how to come in a certain way and deceive to get what he wanted.
okay.
Mm.
And this right here is where I think Jamie Foxx is also a little bit more convincing than Will when he asking him about the that type of fighting.
Okay.
And
Right.
then because then take a look at him when he's like, he getting ready to say in the few, ain't nothing lower than a what? A black slaver. And if you look at Jamie Foxx's
Right.
face, he looking like, man, you could feel just the spirit in him.
Yeah.
and asks not to buy the horse. It makes an offer so ridiculous. The farmer is forced to say yes. Go offer to buy candy.
He said, we gonna offer to buy a Candyland?
Hey, that joker said, he said a black slaver is lower than the head house. And we know he's referencing.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of people was giving a lot of grief about that Mandigo fight scenes and stuff.
But before getting into that, because I can see how, if I was to ask you this, most runaway slaves were not field blacks. Most runaway slaves were house blacks.
Mm.
And part of the reason was they had access to more knowledge than most field
Right.
slaves did. They knew when
Right.
the owner was leaving. They knew they would probably get taught how to read by some of the whites in the house. They had more access.
Right. Definitely. And then I won't say the ones that was in the field was content,
Mm-hmm.
but the ones in the house felt like they was a little bit more privileged.
Yeah.
So just them being able to be out and about might have not been so suspicious.
Yep. So I'm ready to put y'all up on a term.
Okay.
Old girl in the back, Sheba. It's obvious what position she serves for old boy, Calvin Candy.
You like the camera cut like that they did right there. Like
Yeah.
it's tension come like the zzz. I love that. But go ahead. Sorry for interrupting you.
No. And then, hey, that's that classic Tarantino up close. That quick. All right. So she was back then. They called black women who were really forced to deal with those white men like that bed wenches. That's what they called them, a bed wench.
Mm.
Now,
So that's what the term. Oh, you old wank.
yeah, well, wench is a term, but bed wench for sure is a term that some black, I ain't gonna say leaders, but some black activists use now. And if they calling you that, they basically saying she just someone that just idolizes whites. Now, we'll see about the end of the movie. That may not have been quite what was going on with Sheba.
Oh, the Alpha Leonardo DiCaprio.
See, that's Sheba right there.
Won't you accompany me to the bar?
Now, if we go to psychological ramifications, what do you think this type of fighting psychologically, the type of effects this had on the slaves?
He also keep fighting.
I got to go fight another black from another plantation. We already catching hell. Now we got to fight each other to the death.
Right. Yeah.
Just to let y'all know, you see that other guy over there?
Which one?
Not Calvin Candy. You see the other guy?
The
Yeah.
bartender?
The white guy. No, the other white guy with the beard.
Oh, yeah, like his bodyguard or something?
No, the guy right there with the purple tie on.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the original Django.
So okay.
He's the one that if you look it up, him, that guy right there.
Oh, the white dude?
The white dude. That's the original Django.
Really?
Yes, sir.
He ain't black, though.
Huh. Shit, Django was an inspiration. Django wasn't black.
Now look at Dr. Shaw's face watching it. You
Because
can tell
he's not,
very disturbed.
this barbaric way of living is not cool to him.
Right.
Think about how savage this is. These are your business leaders. These are your politicians, your judges, your lawyers, and this is the type of savagery they engaged in. And think about Jamie Foxx. He got to sit there and watch that, and and not break character because you're there for a reason.
Right.
And just look at the eye contact the blacks are giving each other too.
Nah, look at this, man. Then he gonna give him the hammer?
Yeah, man.
Now I don't get what was the significance with the Skittles or the jelly beans on the floor.
She was frightened.
Okay.
You're being forced to work
Watch.
in a situation that makes you watch your own people who already catching hell naturally by being slaves kill each other for nothing.
Right.
So I often say to myself, Tarantino's a brilliant mind. How in the world, with us being African Americans, can we not say that 170 years later, this hasn't had an effect on the way some of us treat each other? You're being forced to hurt someone that's just like you for no reason. He in the same condition as you.
What's your name?
Then they had the two
Django.
You peep what he said?
Mm-hmm.
Now you see. Now you get it, don't you? Why he said,
Right.
"I know."
Right.
Now
Yeah,
you see,
really good cameo, and I would have never noticed that too, neither.
and he slid it in there. The only reason I figured it out is because I watched the Django movies. It was like when the credits was going, I said, "That's the real Django's name."
Give him a tall beer.
That's what you get for killing another black man for no reason. But you don't
A
have no choice
beer.
because if you don't do it, they gonna kill you.
Right.
You go to camera cuts
Like
right
you can
here.
kind of sense that he kind of feel like, hey, hold on, what's this scenario going on right now?
Yep.
I heard you've been telling everybody that Mandingo's ain't no damn good. Ain't nothing fine. I'm curious. I heard you've been telling everybody that Mandingo's ain't no damn good. Ain't nothing nobody is selling is worth buying. I'm curious. Expert.
Now, did you peep that flash of Sheba?
Yep.
Calm down, bro.
That let you know she wasn't down with it. She kind of liked the fact that he said that.
Mm.
No offense, kid.
Did you see how she moved? Like,
Right.
yep.
Yep.
Monsieur Condi, I'd appreciate if you could direct your line of inquiry toward me. Roscoe, appeal for the man with the beard, and I appeal for the man with the beard, and I will have a Polynesian pearl that do not spare the rod. I'm like neophyte. I'm trying to ascertain if this cowboy here is taking advantage of me. I didn't seek you out.
Damn.
Yeah, he came at him.
Right.
I think he did that to save Django, though.
Yeah. Or like this about the part where Django really was feeling himself and
Yeah.
yeah, cause he already Django didn't really bite his tongue around this part.
Mhm. And you got to realize that they'll keep this character development going. The reality is Django can't stand him because he know his wife at that plantation.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, he tells me you looked over my African Oh, he tells me you looked over my African flesh.
Not for no top dollar.
You don't want to buy it.
Boy, he
Hey,
say that too good, don't he?
for real. Hey, he.
Sound like he got a little bit up in
Yeah, hey, he did say it too easy for me.
him. Hey, he, he
Uh huh.
even say it with the ER. He said it with the A.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
It wasn't no ER on that.
nah. That's like some. That sound like, hey, I let you say it all day, as long as you say it with the A. Don't
Yeah.
say it with the ER.
$12,000.
Nah, I just find it funny that he got him a little security guard with him.
Yeah.
So you know he had to be dealing with that bread.
Oh yeah.
And hey, all these different conflicts as Ray come up, him with Stone Cipher and Billy Crass and all of them.
Hi. Good morning, gentlemen. Dr. Joe. Good morning. Dr. Joe. Good morning. Take a ride with us here in the Victoria. Thank you very much. See you in the next day.
You can tell it's a lot of tension, like
Oh
just the
yeah.
cut. Yeah, just the camera cuts with other characters.
Hey, he messing with Django big time, boy.
Hey, because at the end of the day, he can't stand it.
Right.
Having lobster tail, man.
Boy. Down in them all. I tell you, right, boy. Down in them all.
Look at that. And this is the part I was telling y'all about. Look at them. Look at the Stone Cipher and them. Their whole life was based on Calvin Candy allowing them to mistreat our ancestors.
Yeah.
And they wasn't educated or wealthy. He just told him you'd have wanted 10,000.
Mm.
But see, everybody wants somebody to look down on. Look at them. I bet you they couldn't read.
Right. No, they.
Hey, look how he talked to Billy Crass and them.
Hand off your pistol. I said no harm done. Take your hand off your pistol. You. Butch.
Hey, Mikey, go back to what you said and show you what money will do, don't it?
Yeah. I told you, Jamie was on a whole different swag right now, boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just character development of him, like he got a little confidence.
Hey,
And really, that I really think the confidence really like went to their downfall too. Where I'm pretty sure they could have made it out. Made it
well,
out. Go
well,
ahead.
the reality is this though, Mikey. It wasn't him. It was what I call the ultimate hate that brought this down.
Oh yeah, we about to
Because
meet
think
him.
about it. They were on point with what they did. The ultimate hate got to them. Just like that exchange right there. Billy Crash was like, I can't wait to do something with you. And word, he's like, you better listen to your boss, white boy. That was subliminal. That was
Right.
subliminal.
Right.
You work for him. I don't work
Right.
for nobody. Like you
Right.
said, Devon, he feeling himself.
Look,
Here goes
then they
Rick.
come with Rick Ross when Jamie Foxx done straight up
Oh
like
yeah.
bossing up.
Yeah. Like you said, the score was something different for this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then this part right here.
Hey man,
He
how
a
hard
character.
would that be, man? Just
Yeah.
like, could you imagine like nowadays you like for real though? You really trying to act like this?
But don't forget, we got something that's like this.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, remember this name, y'all. And you can check it out after this movie. April Ellison. April Ellison. April Ellison was a black man in South Carolina that owned over 50 slaves.
Mm. April Ellison.
April Ellison. Do you know the Confederate Army actually allowed him to help them during the Civil War?
Wow.
New Orleans, about 10% of the black population in New Orleans owned slaves. That's why it's important to hear what Jamie Foxx said, that there's nothing lower than a black slaver than the head house.
Mm. Jamie, like, man, forget what you
That'll-
talking about.
Yeah.
I'm intriguing. Where you learn that word from?
Yeah. Hey.
You gave me this freedom.
Yeah.
I'm trying to play it now.
And then he also saying like I'm back in the element. I'm used to this. I came up in this. I know how to treat this.
Right. All right, then do your thing. That's what he told him. All right, just do
Hey,
your thing.
hey, then he said that means you too, Moonlight. He just talking major stuff to Billy Crab.
Yeah. Yeah. Like he running it.
This was subliminal too, though. This was Calvin Candy showing that I run this. Let me show you something, boy. You may be on a horse. Stone Cipher. Look, they don't even know how to act. That's a woman.
Like what? Who the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was probably one of the most disturbing scenes of the movie right here.
Yeah. Yeah, this definitely was a shot at Django.
Yeah.
Get this goddamn dog away from your trigger!
And
I like how the movie go ahead.
no, I was just ready to say, this was very disturbing because they reference it later on in the movie.
Yep.
And it was motivation later on in the movie.
And just look how it's shot with like long takes, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
light, like it's shot very light, but also you could tell it's dark at the same time, and the tension is just picking up, and it's just quiet.
Listen to Stone Cipher. He can't even talk. See what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Talk.
So it was a hierarchy even with the whites.
Yes, you had the slave owner. The slave owner is nothing but a CEO in a business today.
Mm-hmm.
The CEO isn't the one that's actually doing the day-to-day work. You also have to remember that Calvin Candy was responsible for finding a way to ship that cotton up to New York. He in Mississippi. So he got to have it shipped. Either he on a carriage or he have it shipped by train. He got to go to New York and sell it. He's the CEO.
But dig how he talking to him, like,
Yeah.
like look, you know.
$500, I want 5 goddamn fights. $500, huh? I paid $500, I want 5 goddamn fights. Why my $500, huh? Why my $500? You gonna reimburse me? Huh?
They laugh like hyenas, man.
I think that's done on purpose, though.
Yeah, I think it is too.
I'll reimburse you.
Now, I got a question for y'all, fellas. Why did Django do what he did?
Like renege on a thing.
Why did he say no, he won't?
Oh shoot, cause to put his nuts on the table.
Yeah. Because think about it. We know what motivation it caused later on.
Yeah.
So it's obvious he was disturbed by this.
Right.
Can't even talk.
That man. That man.
This part right here is intense. What do you ready to say? Yo. Can you imagine what's going through his mind?
Yeah.
Hey, they hated the ancestors so much, they said we had to have our own heaven. We couldn't even be in heaven with them. This is just savage.
It's
Look
in
at,
slow motion and
think about that. Hey, the ancestors got to watch. You got to watch it.
yeah.
And look at Jamie Foxx. Look, I don't know if Will Smith could have looked like that.
Like right there. I mean, that's just
Watch this.
like I ain't scared of you.
Oh, you see how he checked? He said, nah, he just ain't used to a man being.
Whenever you're ready. You go 5 hours so you can show off your stuff.
Hey, he was on one.
Yeah. I told
He was on one.
hey, his swag was on 10.
Yeah.
Like your little stunt right here don't faze me, cuz.
Like, that ain't nothing.
Like I done seen this before. What you doing ain't nothing.
He talking about he looked like he a little green. He said, nah, he ain't used to that happening. He's like, oh, but you are? He's like, I'm just a little bit more used to Americans than he is.
Right.
Now you get prepared, Mikey, for that next part of the movie.
Yep, man. This one we get introduced to our
Now,
favorite character.
now,
This
could
is
you imagine
uh-huh.
the slavers like after that part? Like
Yeah.
what's really going on in their head about Django? Like, dog, this dude here.
Yeah.
Here we go, our favorite character.
But let's break this down. Look at what he's doing. Pay attention to what he is allowed to do.
Yeah.
Taking care of the money.
He taking care of the bread. He's sitting up there writing a check. Think about how big that plantation had to be. Look how long they've been riding.
Man.
Notice he stopped riding in the thing. He started riding back on his horse.
Yep.
Yeah, to calm Django down, man.
Yeah. Like he said, he had to. Because like he said, his swag was on 10.
Hey, Django, chill, dog. You about to
You ain't blow this up. Look, they just got to the gates of the plantation.
Look at him working them, man. We gonna realize, man. This.
But think about this. Think about this. The ancestors had to walk that whole way.
Yeah.
You got sold and then had to walk on foot.
Mm-hmm.
They in Mississippi too. I know that soil was hot.
Yeah. Notice your boy. Hey, look at the cinematography.
Right.
Hey, there's a reason that face is a meme. You can feel the hate right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He ain't said a word yet.
I don't think nobody could have played that character better than
Oh,
Sam.
no.
Look at the face.
Hey, to show you, hey, people, man, looking like, look at these two here. But to show you, you're right. He actually said after this movie came out, Devon and Mikey, there was black people he was running to on the street, And he had to be like, "Hey man, it's just a character. I don't really feel like this."
Right.
He had sold people that he was this type of dude so much to where they literally was looking at him like he was this character.
To the fact that don't even look like Samuel Jackson, really.
I know. Who
Is this nigga on that neck?
bad?
Miss you like I miss a rock in my suit.
Let's see. But I said, and called
But
him
I
Snow.
said, who is this nigga on that neck? Oh, he tripped Samuel Jackson out. Like, who
Oh yeah.
hey,
Oh, a snowball.
But the psychology behind it is, think about this. He don't think he black.
right.
Who
Yeah.
this on that net? I asked you.
I wonder how much makeup they like that they did.
A ticky black booger boo like yourself.
So, yeah.
Feel the need to entertain.
Hey, but I'm gonna ask y'all about something else, man.
What's that?
Watch my man's interaction with his sister. I've been kind
Oh
of thinking,
yeah.
did
Yeah,
that not seem kind of suspect to y'all, man?
yeah. He seemed like he was banging his sister for real.
Yeah, I'm like, man, what's going on?
Like that, hey. He said, in the big house.
Yeah.
You want to burn the bed, the sheets?
I gotta burn your daddy rolling over in his grave.
Hey, they hit her with the black.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. To the big house. Yo, daddy roll over in the grave.
Yeah, something ain't right with this.
Nah.
They it? Well, they are in the South.
Then he looked her up and down like, yeah.
Yeah, he ain't right.
Yes, Hildy, what about him? Yes, Hildy, what about him?
Look how he looking, man.
Cleaned up and smell real nice and sent over to the doctor. Actually, Mr. This is something I ain't told you about yet.
Hey, he about lost it right here.
Yeah.
Look, he had his hand, hey, got his hand on the strap.
Right. Took off them glasses, didn't he?
Yep.
Look, hey, look how he put the two fingers up when he said two.
Yeah. Two.
But you done that all damn self, run through the damn bushes and shit.
About 10 more days.
And the little bitch got 10 more days.
Yeah, he was on one, man.
Hey.
But he ain't have to do nothing anyway. He basically was the head house Negro, so all he gonna do is have the other one fix it.
Right. Yeah, that's all.
That's how you could tell something else. This dude was power hungry himself.
Yeah, he was.
Kissing your sister on the lips like that, dog. Y'all grown.
Yeah.
And think about this part. He basically was the number 2 in command.
Yeah, he was.
He just told them white, and this is the point I was making about them being poor and impoverished. He trusted his head house Negro more than he trusted those white cats.
Yeah.
So Samuel, his character, man, was kind of smart too, though.
Well, you see at the very end, it was a chess move on his part.
Yeah.
You know what part I'm talking about where he dropped, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To stand up straight.
Yeah.
That right there tells you that a lot of this was an act. He was
Right.
smart.
He didn't have no health problems. He was very good at walking.
Man.
Just imagine, like, 'cause you know, women like that were raped, our women were raped, our ancestors was raped, man.
Man, there's only been a few books that I've read that really just move you. And there's one called The Slave Community that I used to read, and they talk about the different type of slave characteristics. And actually, I wonder if Tarantino read it because he has all three. It was three type of slave personalities, and he has each one of them in his movie, which is crazy. And they just
Yeah,
talk about the life, man. When you read about what the ancestors went through, they had to be some of the strongest people on earth to make it through that, man.
Right.
Because the Sambo, of course, is Stephen. The Nat is Django, and then like these individuals right here would be what you call Jacks, where they were not just revolutionary, but they wasn't super scared. They did what they had to do to survive.
yeah,
So I'm thinking, my man, Tarantino had to talk to some people about it, or he read it his own self. But man, it just talked about how it was just a hard life, and not just for 10 years, 20 years. This goes from 1619 all the way to 1865, and longer than that in Cuba and Brazil.
I mean, theoretically, if you want to speak about it, still happening until this day.
Yeah,
Just not to that extent.
because it switched from physical slavery to then economic slavery in the form of sharecropping. And then this is when they started locking brothers up left and right after slavery was over. Chain gangs began. After that, when the civil rights happened, then what did they start doing? Now we got issues with what? Abuse, substance abuse,
Yeah.
and we dealing with prison, and we dealing with poverty.
yeah.
And of course, we ain't gonna say this for all of our people, but it's definitely the case for the majority of our people. No different than every black person in America at this time was not enslaved. But 8 out of 10 of them were. Hey, it's funny what he do to my man's sister.
Oh yeah, slammed the door on her face.
Like, he was
Right.
like, yo, get on up out of here.
And she probably think that she was about to get raped.
Yeah.
Right.
Have y'all seen Birth of a Nation, the Nat Turner boy?
Mm-mm.
Um, yeah, I seen that one and also seen the other one too.
You know the part I'm talking about when what's Dwayne Wade's wife? Real life
Uh,
wife.
so,
Gabrielle Union, when that happened to her, you know that happened, man. In that movie, when that guy, some visitor came and did that to her.
yeah,
Well, he right there.
Yep.
Like, yo. Like, I don't really trust you either.
Yeah.
And how am I gonna blame him? Look at the life he had to live.
Right. I bet you she kind of tripped out. Like, hold on.
Yeah. She don't know what's going.
You had your jacket off. Now you put your jacket back on. She just sitting there with the doggone water. She just looked confused, boy.
Then he's speaking German to her, even though she know how to speak it. How many other people you think she done spoke German to besides the mistress that raised her?
Yeah.
Man, it's funny because I'm sure y'all got the subtitles playing for y'all.
Yeah.
So like my joint, my subtitles is in Spanish. So like I gotta take two foreign language and then comprehend to English.
Great. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So
So
I'm
they're
taking German
translating German
and
into Spanish.
translating it into Spanish to understand what he's saying.
That's crazy. That's crazy. You making me think about the movie The Amistad,
Oh yeah, I
where
seen that too.
in the Amistad they had to do just what you describing, Divine. Where once
Mm.
they found someone who was Mende, like the tribe that took over that ship. Actually, it's old boy. You know his name. I can't think of his name right now, but the African actor. Long story short, he had to translate Mende into English for them. So he's sitting up here like, wait a minute, this is Mende. I
No,
speak Mende.
Samuel had his girls too. Had his
What?
women, his king
Look
had his
at
girls
him.
too.
You heard what he said?
You know how I like it.
Joker's 76 years old.
But could you imagine like they up in there and they kind of like happy up in that room in that kitchen? At least they
Imagine
putting
what
on
the
the
other
front.
ancestors dealing with. They in the hut burning up.
Yeah. That's filet mignon. What kind of steak is that? That look
So I
like
can.
steak.
That.
Eye contact, like just a close up and watch how Samuel gets it. He gets it. Under he know that they get work.
You know, thinking about what you said, this may have been where they messed up.
Yep, with the
Once
eye
they
contact.
saw one, no, I'm saying once they knew that she was not dead, it probably would have been best not to even have her around Django just due to emotional effect.
Right.
So he really didn't have to ask for her, But I'm thinking also maybe he figured that was part of the plan because now Calvin Candy thinking, oh, he knocked her off, so now he really want to purchase her. Well, go ahead, I'll make a few dollars off of it.
Right.
In other words, first thing.
Because it's hard for me to say Django is not. I mean, come on, it's his wife. He ain't seen her. He thinks she dead. He's supposed to just sit there and act like he don't know her.
Right. Well, both of them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then, like I said, old boy ain't stupid. Like, so, uh, the master didn't even peep game.
No, he did not. This flat out would have happened because this happened because of what you call
Yep.
because of Steven.
Can't express the joy I felt conversing in my mother tongue. And it is a charming conversation. Don't be kidding, Dr. Schultz.
And just Samuel Jackson.
See, listen to what she's saying, then watch how Steven look at him.
Oh yeah, I had to peep this. No, actually the sister did that.
Hey, hold on. Do they
Did that.
both got the same mark on their cheek though?
Yeah, that's the runaway. Oh, so that Steven didn't peep that out. The sister spilled the beans.
Yeah.
I thought, man, every time you watch a movie, you catch something. That wasn't Steven. He got lucky that he heard what the sister said because he
Right.
had so much hate for Django.
Right. Know what?
Man, you really hate Samuel Jackson, Steven in
But
this.
I just lost some respect for him. I thought he had peeped game. He ain't peeped no game. He just heard what the sister said.
Right.
And now his eyes up.
Yep. On everything.
Dr. Schultz. Let me clarify how this whole negotiation came about.
What a suck up, man.
He out there looking like Ben Carson.
$9,000 fee you brought was the man about that ain't too far off from riding. If I wanted to sell Eskimo Joe for that, I could do so any day. But like you said in Green, I don't want to sell him. It was on your ridiculous offer for $12,000 that make me even consider it.
They really played him, and then they stroking the white man's ego right here. I'm not
Right.
gonna listen to the black guy, and I'm gonna do it anyway.
Hooray, Doctor, hooray, and a wise decision that is. However, that is a tremendous amount of money. The way you do that, Mr. Moby, I have a lawyer, sneaky man named Tuttle, and I would need my Mr. Tuttle to draw up a legal contract before I'd feel comfortable exchanging that money for flesh. Not to mention having Eskimo Joe examined by a physician of my choosing, naturally. So say I return in about 5 days. 5 days. With my Mr. Tuttle. And then my Mr. Tuttle, your Mr. Mogi can hash out the details between themselves.
Now I'm trying to see when does Hildy look back at Django.
Then, gentlemen, how we call it? I propose it to him. Eskimo Joe. Or shall we call him Black Hercules? Black Hercules. You was right, Doctor. That name
See, watch this. Watch the look. Look how Steven really looking at him now.
So Hildy.
Oh, it's this part right here.
Huh? On that hot box and dragging your ass to a bramble bush. Maybe it's not quite as much fun as getting the pleasure off the mandingos, huh, Sugar Bear? Like Samson, huh?
I don't know. See, Jamie kind of losing it too.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah,
But see, he's doing it because see, he's watching Jamie now because of what the sister. See, he on it now because of what the sister said.
Yeah.
I'm like I'm not impressed by this now.
I haven't.
even the sister is kind of disturbed by this too.
Take off your dress. Show
That's because she kind of clueless. She don't understand what she did. She don't see what's going on. Calvin Candy don't either.
Nah.
He's just being arrogant. This is
Right.
all your boy Steven acting off.
Yeah.
I want to get back at him and let him know who the head Negro is around here.
Right. Yeah. That's all that is. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Not like everybody trying to on that power trip right now.
Yes, sir. You right.
So you think you got power, nigga? I got power too up in here.
Yep.
I'm the
Flat
number
out.
2. You the number 2 with your point. I'm the number 2 over
Two.
here. What's
Yes,
up?
sir.
Yeah, I'm about to show you what we
Look
did
at
to
the
your
love.
girl.
Look
You
at the
may
love.
be able. You may be able to ride on a nag, but guess what I'm gonna do?
But shoot, that little mark on both of their cheek though.
I was ready to say that's a good, and they actually used to do that, dog. They put that R for a runaway.
Yeah, but I mean the same exact symbol though.
Yeah.
Like so, like yo land didn't have a like a unique market. You know
No,
what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, but no, they put that runaway R on there. Maybe some places may have had a slight difference, but that mark on your face, you knew what time it was. Kind of like a driver's license. Each state has a different variation, but it's still a piece of plastic with some vital information on it. That right there was to let these owners know what type of slave you was purchasing.
Right. Yeah.
And it's sad that the other blacks up in there just looking like, look at them.
I'm all ears. God damn it. Steven, you just interrupted Dr. Schultz. My ear.
Think about this. Think about this. Why does he care if Hildy get sold? What does he really care?
Get up out of my chair.
Man, he
I
just
mean, I think it's more so he
How?
don't want Jamie to win.
Exactly.
Cause I mean, now, like I said, I mean, I don't think that Steven character was so much like he wasn't intelligent, but he had a brain.
Yeah.
And like he put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
So like I think at this point he really know like what's the deal. They get the girl, they ain't coming back for that 12,000 that fighter.
Oh, of course not.
So
This
I
was
mean,
the whole. Now the funny thing is, this also shows you what type of clout Steven had to have. White man talking at a table that's gonna stop to go talk to his top slave.
uh
And then look at him. He's sitting up here drinking yak
right in the chair.
in the chair, chilling.
I know, man. Here you go.
Hey, Tell him how it really is, Steven. Tell him how you really feel, cuz.
But hey, I'm gonna say this: Calvin wasn't smart either.
Oh, that's small Joe. No,
Man, why is Steven just sitting there like hey, he the
like
top
he's like,
dog.
yeah,
From the way he holding the glass, the way he's sitting, like he's spitting game to old boy.
yeah.
well, they go call that nigga. You go back ain't worth $300.
Also starting to peep, and I could be wrong. Tarantino almost making it seem like he kind of taking a low key stab at some of the slave owners and slavery, saying that they wasn't as bright as you think they were.
Right.
Yeah.
Think about it, because he's like, look at Calvin Candy right now. He don't know. As you said, Devon, Stephen put two and two together. He didn't catch it originally. The sister made a comment, and now he want to put his man up on game.
Yeah.
I mean, but just look at the conversation. Like Steven looked like he the million dollar
Yeah,
man. Calvin's
like
just sitting there like,
almost is like a mentor and a mentee.
right.
Oh, I snake. I do feel it. Sons of it.
And this is the most profound part of the whole movie.
Yeah, you talked about it earlier, but now you about
This
to.
right here,
Yeah.
this right here is Quentin Tarantino lucky that somebody didn't write him asking for his life. He showed the whole hand of white power, of those who believe in white power at this point in time. Because this is the phrenology, this is their psychology behind it. He wasn't right.
Mm. I'm surprised he didn't have his man come back out.
Oh, you talking about the my man with the gun?
Nah, Steven.
Oh yeah. Who does this?
Old Joe.
This has been. This is old Joe around here for a long time. I mean a long damn time.
Chief.
Danny here.
With my daddy, and my daddy's daddy.
Look at his grill.
Right.
Plantation owner.
Then took care of me. Growing up the son of a huge plantation owner in Mississippi puts a white man in contact with a lot of black faces. I spent my whole life here, right here, Kentland.
Every day.
So Trey, you was talking about earlier how important this scene was with the evolution theory of Charles Darwin, right?
Yeah, because he's already. I got to get the time frame right. This is the 1850s. I will double check before speaking, but I know he's already went to the Galapagos at this time, and now the theory of evolution is giving them a different false narrative towards them continuing the mistreatment of the ancestors.
My daddy's goddamn throat. And
Yeah.
you know, 50 years to do it.
For example, hey, do y'all peep the statue behind? Look at the statue behind Calvin Candy.
Isn't that from the Gecko record? era,
Oh, that's
right?
the
Roman, the
Hellenistic era.
Greco-Roman.
Yes, but
Huh?
notice how are they fighting in the what?
Area associated with submissiveness.
What you mean?
They're in the nude.
Yeah.
Planet Earth.
Okay.
Now, this right here is what I'm talking about. He honestly believes in this foolish proposition that came out of the mouth of Darwin and others.
Here, notice three distinct dimples. If I was holding a skull here, here, and here. If I was holding a skull of Isaac Newton or Galileo, these three dimples will be found in the area of the skull most associated with creativity. This is the skull of Oban. And the skull of Oban, unburdened by genes. These three dimples exist in the area of the skull most associated with.
Think about this. This is what they told each other. This is what they said.
Mm.
I will admit you won't. And I'm back.
And just to give y'all some context, Charles Darwin studied under a black man.
Mm.
You can look it up yourself.
Lay your palms flat on that tabletop. If you lift those palms off that turtle shell tabletop, lay your palms flat on that tabletop.
Man, this scene is so tense.
Both barrels that sawed off. Last sit around this dinner table here tonight.
But I want you to also peep something. Think about this.
Oh, when he, go ahead.
Stephen's been there for everything else. He wouldn't let Stephen even be a part of this section or
Right.
this part because he wouldn't want Stephen to even think that, hey, this is what you did. Thanks for putting me up on it. I'm going to take credit for this.
Right.
I want Bright Boy to know that I got him.
Yep.
Think about it. Stephen with him every other part.
Yep.
Also, Leonardo DiCaprio actually injured his hand, like legit. This scene when he hit his hand on the table.
Oh, did you read that, or you just looking at what happened?
No, that's actually what happens.
I can believe it.
Yeah.
He's just like, that's good content. Go ahead and keep it up in there.
Yep.
Because Quentin Tarantino thought this was just perfect, and he just said, "Keep going."
Shoot, they must have did a different take. No, it's still bleeding. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
surprised. Hey,
yeah,
this
this
would
is
make
all
him a
one
good
take.
actor because I'm surprised he wasn't like, hold on, check this out.
This was all one take, so this shows how good of an actor Leonardo DiCaprio is.
Yep.
Like bloody, and was like, you know what? He gonna continue filming.
Spent a whole lot of bull to purchase this lovely lady right here. It would appear.
You can tell he kind of hurt though, because he kind of been that.
Hey,
hand.
I was ready to say that, yeah. Hey, and that pinky ain't moved at all. His hand hurt for real. Hey, he is not moving that hand.
Hey, that joint in that one position.
And you know something, with you saying that, I want to see what hand he was continuously smoking that cigar with. Was he using his left or his right?
He don't even look right with the right hand.
Yeah. Because I'm wondering if he's left-handed because he's using
You see Teriyaki Washington face, right?
Yeah. She's like, you wipe this blood on me for real? And this is why Stephen ain't worth 2 nickels.
What's it gonna be, Doc? Huh? What's it gonna be? Lift the hands off the table. Tell me not to remove my pistol. Oh.
Yes, ma'am.
Man got Stephen counting.
And think about this. You know the sad thing about this? Steven has bought into the idea that his only worth, don't forget, he was 76 at this point. The only worth and the best life he could live was being a part of Calvin Candy and Candyland. And don't forget, if you ever heard that part from Malcolm X, it's kind of a famous speech where he's talking about how there used to be blacks back during slavery be like, boss, are you sick? He'd be like, yeah, we sick. Yeah, I'm sick. And they'd be like, we sick. Or we is such and such. They bought into this is my life. I'm a part of this plantation. Especially if I got a few little extra perks. Because I guarantee at the end of the night, guess who wasn't sleeping in the big house? Steven went right back out to the slave barracks.
With a smile.
Man, could you imagine the kick on that shotgun he got, man? That's a double
sawed off.
Sawed off. And if you look at it, it's like a pistol grip. It really don't even have that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Them is illegal.
Yes. And the kick on that boy out of control.
And now all he's thinking about is the
D'Artagnan.
yeah, the attack with the dog. With the Beethoven.
Hey, here's another part. Here's another part where you know that Calvin really ain't that intelligent.
White cake. Don't go in for sweets.
Rooting about me getting the
That's
best.
part funny.
Rooting about me getting the best of you. Actually,
Like, go right back to what you said, Divine Power.
Oh yeah.
Hey, and he ain't even peeping.
And I was wondering what you want. Again.
He don't even know who Dumas is. Alexander Dumas.
Musketeers. Yes, of course. I think I admire you named your slave after his novel's lead character.
He didn't even know he was black.
If it's all the Dumas in there today, I wonder what he would have made of it. How he could prove. Yes. Approval would be a dubious proposition at best.
You don't know what dubious preposition is.
Nah, no, he don't.
Look at him. Looking stupid.
That is a bill of sale or ownership history, of course. Freedom Papers.
Okay, that cake look good.
Quiet cake. Hey, low key, both of them gloating. Samuel over there like, yeah, I got you, boy. Bright boy.
Right.
Now, you know what I wonder? If they would have made it out of here, would Django had to pay him back?
Yeah. Good question.
Consider yourself a free woman.
Could they barely
I
like?
just peeped that. Look how they slowed everything down. My man behind them eating cake.
Uh-huh.
If you watch that again, they slowed that down.
Yeah, they did.
This one got up under his skin.
What Wiedersehen actually means is till I see you again. Since I never wish to see you again, to you, sir, I say goodbye.
And Candy already
Now,
won.
do you
Candy
think he?
already won.
Nah,
He.
hey.
This is where the ego come in.
Oh yeah, I was ready to say this is.
The custom here in the town. Once business dealers, two parties shake hands. God's good faith.
Look at Steve.
Said I ain't from the South.
Yeah, like I'm German.
When I shake your hand, and I'm afraid I must persist in the opposite direction. You think I am? No, I don't. I think you're an abysmal.
You don't know the abysmal mean. Hey, he said nevertheless.
Right.
Even after all that paper signing don't mean shit. You shake my hand. If I don't shake your hand, you can throw $1,000? I don't think so. Suppose she tries to leave here before this nigga-loving German shakes my hand.
See what I said?
Right.
Yep. Steve gonna move out the way.
Hey, he wasn't tough then. Look at the lawyer in the back too, trying to move.
Right. Hey, everybody slide.
Hey, I just noticed that everybody got the slide. Hey, but in my heart, when watching this in the movie, I knew something was ready to go down. I'm like,
Yeah.
nah, he ain't about to do this.
Ah, Calvin.
Double burger. Huh? Man, do you know every time I see this part, I feel like just jumping through the screen and choking him? Every time.
Like, but what was Django though?
Man, look at this, man. Check your man's out. Man.
Right. But why Django ain't got?
Man, this is probably one of the bloodiest things I ever seen.
Yeah. Hey, I can't think of another scene. He'd have had a few, but this one right here,
Wow. Look at that.
he shot Candyland up.
Man, I wonder if he did would have shook his hand, would he would have let him free, or would he would have killed him anyway?
I think he just hated him so much as a person. By that time, he just didn't care.
Yeah. Look
Because
at
I
that.
want you.
Man, he just keeps shooting his man, ain't
That's right. My man caught so many straight bullets, man.
he?
They shot that mansion up.
Hold on, how this dude ain't dead, man?
They
They done
say
shot
he
him
just,
like
hey,
30 times, man.
you ain't never lied. Hey, he done caught for real at least 8 bullets. No, that's about 10 to 12.
Look,
No, he dead by now.
Oh yeah.
Dog, they just
He
lit.
don't
They
have no
lit.
body. Hold on, you notice how they came in and killed them slaves, man?
Yep.
How many dudes did my man have on the
Hey, I said the same thing the second time I saw that Divine. I'm like, how many guys did he have there? Now, they did say the bigger the plantation, the more workers they would have. Hey, there go Billy Crass right there.
Expect me, nigga, like you expect Jesus to come back. Expect me, nigga.
Yeah, he had to surrender at this point. There was no way he was gonna survive with that gun. Well, with no bullets.
Nah, come on, man.
Hey, but for real, it's like he had an army there. Dog, late at night, he wouldn't have had that many cats with him.
Right.
They would have went back to the crib. Hey, let's be honest. That with that amount, dog, he had to have at least 30 or 40 men there.
Yeah.
Django, we got your woman.
And for them to listen to him.
Right.
Hey, he was like Joseph in Egypt. For real. He like the second in charge. Stop all that carrying on. You gonna blow a brain.
You gonna blow her goddamn brains out. But that ain't no fair house, boy. Goddamn problem. Oh, you can give up. You can like I seen.
Even. Now, you know what don't make sense about this?
What's
Now,
that?
why all of a sudden you care?
Right.
Think about this. This is crazy. I'm with Django.
Right.
It seemed like they would have killed her and wanted to kill him. Calvin Candy is
Right.
dead. They got too many.
I can't hear you. I said, I give up.
Hey, my man shouldn't have no body. That one dude face down, he took about 30 slugs, man.
Right.
Man.
Shotgun slugs, pistol.
Look at all that blood though.
Yeah,
He
that
shut up
joint.
the whole match.
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino on something else, man. And the whole, it's just blood everywhere.
Like I don't even
Man,
know.
still alive? Look, my man's still moving. He got a dude on top of him. His head's still moving back and forth. This part tripped out right here, though.
Yeah.
Like, hold on, dog. Hey, can you imagine you Tarantino tell you for this part, this is what you got to do? What?
Right.
Yeah, like, I got to do what? Hold on, dog. I can't even imagine. I'm wondering if this is CGI because, man, all the blood rushing to your head. Mm-hmm. 35 minutes. Hey, your man was a little suspect.
Oh yeah. Conqueror the devil.
I wonder if they taped that like reverse though.
Yeah, they could have did
That's
that
what
too.
I had to, because I mean,
Man, you want it, posters? I got to say, I ain't never heard of that. That boy take killed that man. I'm pretty good about that.
something tells me he may have been of an alternative lifestyle, fellas.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Something to do with old man. Oh, she changed her mind about snipping Django. She gonna give it to the Quint Dixie people. She didn't waste a minute telling me.
Yeah, you could tell that knife hot.
Somebody he disappointed. Man, you touching another man?
Look how you walking though.
I told you, hey, I think he may have been of an alternative lifestyle.
Yeah.
You leave. This here. What you take with you? Y'all black ass and all them motherfuckers that you out. Seem like white folk ain't never had a right idea.
I wonder what Samuel was like what was going through his mind when he was reading the script.
Yeah, that's a good question.
This man was like, I can win the Oscar, but I can get my people to hate me though.
Or as an actor, you just you get into the character.
Sure. Probably that bag was so up there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was upward of 5 to 10 mil.
And I mean, that's his man's though. He do all kinds of work for old boy.
Think about it. How many movies has he been in for Tarantino? He'd have been in Pulp
Pulp
Fiction,
Fiction,
Jackie Brown,
Brown,
this, The Hateful Eight. No, we're talking about Samuel.
Samuel made like Quentin
He'd been in.
Tarantino.
He'd have
Yeah,
been in four. He'd have been in 4 movies for Tarantino.
yep. That's one of Tarantino boys.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't think anybody else did more movies for him than that.
Leonardo DiCaprio did a few.
What else has Leonardo been in? He been in this.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood that came out 2019.
That was Tarantino.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah, great movie too. That was my number 3 of 2019.
What else did he? Is that it?
I think so.
Because Uma Thurman was in Pulp Fiction, and she also was in what's the joint? What's the other movie she was in?
But he looks nothing like Samuel Jackson.
That's just good makeup. What's the other
Yeah.
movie that Uma Thurman was in for Tarantino?
I don't remember.
Cameo time.
Wave can hold my body down. I love this song for some reason.
Hey, this right here shows you the level of intelligence Django had, though.
Yeah.
Then that's the dude that
Yeah, that spit when he He's sitting there looking like, you ain't what I thought you were.
Right.
He was quick on his feet with this, though.
There go Quentin Tarantino right there.
Yeah, that's why I said cameo time. Why is there blood on his forehead?
Just sitting there. And y'all rolled right past it. You be damn black. You went up there. They said that. Now, thing about this fortune, it ain't illegal. You can't steal it. Yeah, something like this. $11,500 fortune waiting to be back in campaign. This is in the form of a once dead alive battle. Video call. Look at that. Smiggle. Leave the first stage. Triple call. There's a $7,000 wanted dead alive battle. $1,500 for your company. Everybody. National anthem. You know what?
Hey, and the fact that he still remembered it.
Right.
Yeah. Now, the funny thing is, why would they be listening to you know what I'm saying, a black slave, quote unquote?
Right.
But you can't forget, they were supposed to be Australian.
Yep. And money talks.
Yep.
Yeah,
But also, there was no slavery in Australia. Now, they did wipe out the indigenous population.
Dr. King tracked the ball all the way from Texas to South Carolina. We finally found the ass laying low in Canada. We really didn't get it. Things went south. My partner got killed. Calvin Candy got shot. And everybody there decided to blame me. So here I am. Y'all know I ain't on that man. All y'all know I ain't supposed to be. But them 4 men is still back there. They still want it. And that 11,500.
It's called game right here.
Yeah, hey, he made it sound so believable.
Right. It's called game.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to keep talking until this joint work for me.
Yeah. That's true spitting game right there. See, my man was using. My man missing all his teeth.
Right.
Yeah.
See all that anger.
Yep.
See all that anger, boy.
Yep.
You still got that anger. You just don't know. You just done hooked him up.
Oh yeah, for real. I bet you by now, Devon, it done passed through the slave quarters. You know them slaves that was in the big house. They went back. Guess what happened?
Oh yeah.
You're a funny bugger.
Hey, this part funny in the mug though.
Yeah. They just don't know.
Hey,
cut the mean killer.
hey, but like you said though, the game was so strong though.
Yeah.
Hey, I I appreciate it more and more each time I watch it.
They even gave him a gun.
Yeah, but he told him that was part of the conditions. He
Right.
said give him $500. Hey, you know Quentin Tarantino a different person. The way he took his own self out of his own movie.
Oh yeah.
Right.
2012, 1858. Hey, who takes their own self out by getting blew up?
I like this song too from the song.
Legend, ain't it?
Huh?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely legend. Hey, they just sitting there looking like,
This dude for real.
hey, about my man, he's so hateful, but you done went from he a black slave, I can't stand him, I want him dead, to I'm free
Right.
now because of him.
Yeah.
Right.
Man, took that, got the shotgun, two straps, a knife.
Pass me that them sticks.
Yeah. Hey, my man got it quick, the same one that was. If I'm them, I gotta go. Cause I don't want
Right.
nobody thinking that I killed them jokers.
Right.
The joker went from hate to, hey, this is my hero. I got time to be smiling. I gotta get up out of Dodge.
Right.
Hey, they just sitting a little bit too long.
Especially being in Texas, man. All they had to do was get to Mexico. Don't forget the Mexicans hate the Americans at this point.
Mm.
That's because of the Mexican War. I just realized they never showed that woman's face the whole movie.
I know. And that's that hillbilly life too.
Look at the house. What's that? One, two, three. That's five right there.
Imagine
Six.
taking a bath in front of people.
I'm surprised Stone Cipher took baths. Yeah. That's eight. Yeah, that's eight.
You know the thing, it's like a little app where a whole bunch of people watch a movie at once.
You recording. You recording.
Shot, shot
Hey,
private.
because I forgot that he came back and did this for
Damn.
oh, it was 9 people in that house.
Hey, but dig how you riding that horse though.
Yeah,
Got about a little. I'm assuming I would call it that hair, but I'm
yeah.
sure it's probably called something different.
Yeah, you gotta be a G to ride a horse like that. Did he burn the house down?
Yeah.
Think about it, they had their own little family cemetery. Just tossed my man's body in there like he wasn't nothing, man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, let's heal these papers right there. And his.
Yeah.
What he say?
Nah, he just touched him. You know, you can tell it's a moment. He kind of
Yeah.
like,
Mutual respect there.
Spoke some
hey,
little
did he just
German
hit
to
the
him.
German joint? Till we see
Yeah.
you again? Oh, I just peeped that. They just had her looking helpless the whole movie, man. She was just in a whirlwind of emotions.
Yeah.
She didn't even have a lot of dialogue in this movie.
Nah, she didn't. I thought he was taking too long on this part. Like, hey, man.
Yeah, I think so too. This could have been an hour, and this could have been 2 hours and 30 minutes with this.
Hey, but right now he give you that old spaghetti western score right there. That's what those spaghetti western movies
Hey,
music
the
was.
way they brought her to that room, you'd have thought that was on the second level or something.
Yeah.
That joint right on ground level.
Like, hey, we ain't got time for this either. Hey, you either you need to bust up or you going to take care of your business right now. I'm talking about with them.
Yeah.
This might be one of the illest resolutions of all time, Mikey.
Yeah, we talked about this like the other day when I was over at your house.
Yeah.
This scene, man, I
Hey,
love this scene.
at least he kept it consistent. The big house still full of blood.
Yeah,
Yeah. Look at her.
So, hey,
Steven up there singing them good old slave songs.
oh yeah, singing Amazing Grace. See, I just peeped. Look at that. So Sheba done lost her position. He finished it.
yo, oh
Oh,
my,
man, look at the barrel on the cannon, man.
Right. Smoking, ain't it?
For real.
you Steven crying, man. But can you imagine getting shot there, man?
Take your boy Steven out. Hey, behind
Right.
the Roman column.
Hey, right.
Man, he's
Right where you
hey,
belong.
hey, my favorite part. Now you Steven. Hey, why you trying to ease toward the door though?
Right. First, huh?
Hey, like he
Miss Laura went back flying.
hey,
Hey, but check out Big Girl though. Hey, check out Big Girl when she started running out that house though.
hey, this is what I was talking about with Sheba. Just let you know Sheba didn't care nothing about them. Hey, she was like, I'm up out of here.
Right.
Hey, big girl and Sheba, both of them was like, we out. Hey,
Look at her.
she got to dress up. I'm out. Hey, Sheba
Hey,
right after, like, we
right.
gone.
Now, here we go. He about to we get the big reveal. Samuel walking
Hey,
normal.
hey, I count six. Hey, I count 6 bullets. That's how you knew it was game.
Right.
The fact that he stood up straight and started walking was just like, man.
I count 2 guns. Nigga.
Look how he looking. 76 years.
You mother.
Like, he got to say that in every movie, the MFer. You got to.
Yeah.
Oh, that's his trademark.
Oh, hey, he's known for
I'm gonna kill you.
it.
He gonna say, I'm gonna pray to Jesus that he gonna kill you. Wow.
Hey, but watch how he started talking about we Candyland. We. Hey, and smoking one of Calvin Candy cigars.
Right.
He's been king.
It's gonna always be Candyland.
It's gonna always be.
Look at with the glasses, huh?
With the glasses. Just when he thought he had won. Your boy Steven.
You mother.
Well, that boy, the kingdom come. Man, hey, I'm just still tripping how he dropped the cane so quick. Like, all right, the game is up. I'm ready to die.
Right.
This is the most talking she done did.
Right.
Get the horse to do this, man.
Yeah, he's stunned, ain't
Yeah.
Guys, that's the end of the movie right there. I'm curious, how many of y'all made it through the 243 mark?
Well, we know we did.
he? Right.
I made it through the two. I made it through the whole thing, and I'll shout your name out in the video next video I do. I would like to thank Trey and my dad for joining me on this long video, the longest video on the channel. But first, out of 5 stars, 1 through 5 stars, how many stars would you give this movie?
I mean, I give it up there, man. I just, certain aspects, it kind of like it does something to you, especially, you know, the situation. So, like, I give it 4.5.
I honestly, I'm with you. I actually give it 4.5. Strong. Uh, I thought the acting, especially from Jamie Foxx, Samuel L. Jackson, did an excellent job from a acting standpoint of getting people drawn into his character. Leonardo DiCaprio is a great actor as well. Um, I love Tarantino's writing as well. Uh, there was some underlying stories and things of that nature in the movie. But I just think the way it's put together, my only thing is 245 is very long. I wish he could have got it around 215, but it kept my attention. But I'm gonna have to give it a 4.5. I think the way he adapted Django from the spaghetti westerns to fit a narrative about a slave in the South was ingenious, and then just some of the underlying stories and premises that he had within the movie. It was well written. I just think this got a tad bit too lengthy, but other than that, I'm gonna definitely give it a 4.5.
Yeah, I agree with you. Well done movie. Definitely one of the best movies of the 2010s.
Yeah,
Probably up there top five of the 2010s when it comes to movies. I'm going to give this movie a 4.5 as well. I do think that this movie could have been probably 215, maybe 150, maybe. But overall, this was a very, very great movie. And if you made, like I said, if you made it through the end, I'm gonna shout y'all out. I'm gonna shout y'all out in the video. Also, thanks for 113 subscribers. Our next goal is 250. Next goal after that, 500, and then next goal after that is 1,000. We're gonna keep growing,
make sure you
and we're gonna be,
button.
huh?
Make sure they hit that like button. Make sure you tell your people as well. Let your people know about the channel. Hit that like button up.
Yes, sir. And we will be doing a Q&A, so don't forget on the Money in the Bank video. Matter of fact, y'all can even ask a question on this video too. But don't forget to ask your questions, and we will come back to do the 100 subscriber special where we're gonna announce new stuff that are gonna come on the channel. We got a lot of great things that are coming on the channel. I'm not Trey. We gonna just tease it. We're gonna talk about what we're gonna do in that video. But Trey is actually gonna have a spinoff give his thoughts and give pretty much have his own segment on the channel.
Yeah.
We're gonna tease it. We're gonna tease it, and you're gonna find out more what he got coming in that video, the 100 subscriber special. But yeah, like, comment, and subscribe, and we're out. Peace.
All right, everybody.